already had their warm-up runs at the start of this morning, the male and the female athletes. Only 19 female athletes, 30 in the men's. Those 49 we take down to just 2 sets of 16 after these rounds. So it really is a race to put in the best time here, whereas they might not be racing against each other. This is good here at the moment from Krasavina. 9.06, very close to our fastest time. Put in by her teammate just a moment ago. 10.38 on the other side from Alamariench. Our next two athletes out then will be for Austria, Stephanie Pitschler, number 38. And she'll be up against Julia Kaplina, a current new young world record holder. Julia Kaplina, number 47. Julia will be on the right-hand side for Russia. Stephanie Pitschler for Austria. Julia Kaplina, that new world record set in Baku, was a time of 8.05 seconds. This is a 15-meter wall in height. She did it in 8.05 seconds. She did an 8.09, I believe, as well at the same time there. She had 3 or 4 scores that were really, really close to that record all the way through. 8.08 was the last round for her. It's what won her the gold medal at Baku. Here we are then. Stephanie Pitschler trying to put in a good time here, but you can see Julia Kaplina, fluidity in her form here. A slip, though, and the pressure is back on her then for this next climb later on today. Stephanie Pitschler, 10.34. That should be enough at the moment to see her through. Our next athletes then will be Ksenia Polakina of Russia, number 39 on the left-hand side, and Alexandra Rodzinska of Poland, number 48 on the right. Two athletes come out and get themselves ready. How's everyone doing this morning? You can get in touch with us, of course. You can do that on the Twitter using the hashtag IFSCWC. So these next two athletes then, we have Ksenia Polakina, number 39, up against Alexandra Rodzinska, number 48. Athletes take their marks. And here we go. We have Alexandra Rodzinska on the right-hand side, slipping again. We're seeing a lot of our highest-ranking athletes fumbling here at the start of the day. Alexandra Rodzinska, again, another one that knows now that the pressure is on. 10.79 from Ksenia Polakina. And Alexandra Rodzinska with a misclimb. Our last athlete out then, as we have an unusual number. We should go on to a new set now, though. It'll be Yulia Levochkina up against Anna Saigonova, I believe, as we come out in a pairing here. Yulia Levochkina, number 49, will be on the right-hand lane. And it is Margot Heitz, in fact, that is climbing on the left now. So Yulia Levochkina, number 49 on the right. Margot Heitz, number 40 on the left. 40 on the left, 49 on the right. Yulia Levochkina, a well-known speed climber for setting the speed record, the world record, which is broken just recently, and resetting it again and again and again, mainly at Chamonix last year, 2012, the Leiden Speed World Cup that we held there. She broke the speed world record, then broke her own record a further 2 times, and still only ended up in 4th place. She missed out on a medal after resetting the world record there several times. You can see the speed she's going at. Margot Heitz again, another athlete here struggling. That was her second climb as well. Levochkina. It's looking like we've had a misfire on the clocks here, so I'm not entirely sure what's happening. That might have been a false start. Margot Heitz not entirely sure what's happening, asking the judges for confirmation as to exactly what's happened there, whether a fall counts or whether she's been called down. It's looking like they've been called down for a false start, so we're going to reclimb again there. So Margot Heights on the left-hand side, number 40, and Julia Levochkina on the right, number 49. It looks like we're having a bit of an interesting switch around here. It's not going to be those two athletes. It does look like we have had a fall and a time that instead of the clock working for some reason, they're going on the judges' time by the look of things. We could have a reclimb later on if there are appeals to be made. We'll wait and see what happens as we move through the rest of the competition here. But they are not reclimbing, so we move on to our next two athletes then. It's going to be Monika Prokopiuk for Poland on the left-hand lane. That's number 41, and she's going to be up against Anna Saigonova. Number 31. And again, it looks like confusion here down on the ground. For some reason, it looks like Anna Saigonova has been sent back behind the wall into isolation, and now Monika Prokopiuk is being sent back behind the wall as well. Not entirely sure what's going on here at the ground. It's looking like we could have an appeal or something going on. So a moment's pause then as we go through into this section here. So if you've been following the speed so far this year, you'll know about who's been pushing up towards the top of the pile. Julia Kaplina, obviously, as I mentioned earlier, young, new, emerging talent in the female speed category. Julia Kaplina was world ranked 12th around about the start of this year. Current World Cup rank, though, is firing up to the top of the pile. She had a third place in Chongqing and a first place in Baku. Born and lives in Tyumen. Only 20 years old, Julia Kaplina. She'll be out a little bit later on today. We have some of the greats here as well. Some of the well-known athletes making it through. As I mentioned, Julia Levochkina in the women's category. Also, Alina Gaida-Makina, world ranked number 2. And she was first on the end of last year's World Cup rankings as well. Worth bearing in mind, came first here at Arco last year. So Alina Gaida-Makina has had victory here on this turf the last time we were here, so she's going to be looking to push forward and secure that again this year as well. She came second at Baku earlier this year. Not entirely sure who our next set of athletes are going to be at the moment. We're just waiting to see what's going on, whether we're going to have a reclimb or whether we're going to move on with our next set of athletes after that incident just a few moments ago with Julia Levochkina and Margot Heights. So we're currently just waiting to find out exactly what's going on there. I will keep you updated as soon as I know more. I'll make sure that you guys know that as well. Talking about some of the other things that we've been covering this year, how's everyone enjoyed the bouldering season so far? Did everyone enjoy Eindhoven, the European Championship side of the bouldering there? I missed out on that one. Caught a bit of it over the stream back at home. Looked entertaining, an incredible effort there from both Anna Stor and Dmitry Sharafutinov. Dmitry holding multiple titles now, setting records left, right and centre. Sharafutinov, we've seen him climb speed actually this year over in Chamonix as he was going for the overall European Championship title. Putting in a time of around 7.60 seconds, which is a new personal best for him, which is still incredibly fast. Faster than we've seen so far today here in the women's. Not quite into the category for the men's though. Our current world record for the men stands at 5.88 seconds. 5.88 seconds for a 15-meter, 5% incline, 6B plus graded wall. Now we've got a bit of an interesting situation here. I'm not entirely. This is the World Slow Climbing Championship, new discipline of sport climbing. Now I believe this is the some of the setting team and some of the officials here, just making sure that everything's okay. It's looking like they're heading up to the top of the wall to make sure that the buttons are working. I'll keep you posted as we're going, but of course this isn't a race at the moment. We are still in the women's category. Nice to have a bit of extra security on the ground as well. For some strange reason, we have the police belaying. It just goes to show you how sports orientated this town is. It's a very well-known cycling town, and also the climbing here. Climbing is a huge, huge part of Arco. Spied Adam Odra walking around last night as well. Nice to see him at certain events and not out working on that 9C. Sort of missed him since Bercy last year on the World Cups.
Semplicità di sempre ad Amondra, quindi sul gradino più alto di questo Oscar del Saleva Rock Award, mentre per il reparto corse.
So I can see the officials just behind the wall at the moment, still waiting on a decision as to exactly what's going to happen here on the ground. So as I mentioned, this is the qualification stage. We have the 19 female athletes to get through. We are over halfway now with our female athletes, and then we have the male athletes still yet to come. 30 of them to decide who has 16 athletes going through to the final later on this evening, the final rounds. We'll be bringing that to you around 7 o'clock local time here. So we are back then with our same first grouping. It looks like we're going to have a reclimb here. Yulia Levochkina, number 49 on the right-hand side, and Margot Heitz, number 40 on the left. Yulia Levochkina, number 49 on the right-hand side, and Margot Heitz, number 40 on the left at the moment. So we are going to have that reclimb. It's looking like they've adjusted whatever they needed to change with the clocks at the top there. There was a bit of an issue with that this morning. They had some technical difficulties down on the ground. They were tweaking a few things, and that's partly due to the reason that we were a little bit late starting this morning. And now our athletes are trying to put in a good time here. It's looking like we've got a false start or something. We've been called down again. One of the clocks not starting by the look of things. Frustration here from Margot Heitz. Imagine the pressure that is on these athletes at that moment, that they're not allowed to false start. If they false start twice, they are eliminated from the competition. And to put in a good time, although they're not actually racing against each other, they're still trying to beat every other athlete. They're essentially racing the other 18 athletes as they're running here. The pressure on these guys at the bottom of the wall is immense. So to get to this stage where they're trying to focus and have the clock keep faulting, could be getting inside their head now. Yep, and again the clock stopped. Margot Heitz saying that that wasn't me. See our official down on the ground there. We're waiting to see a decision here. It's looking like we're going to have a chat. I can see our IFSC technical delegate, Christoph, over on one side having a chat to decide what's going on and whether this is the clocks or whether that was actually Margot. Margot Heitz is very assured. You can see there on the ground that that wasn't her. We wait and see.
Attesa qualche secondo per vedere il giudizio. Sembra penalizzare forse un po' troppo l'atleta francese. Ricordiamo la falsa partenza, alla duplice falsa partenza viene pagata con l'uscita diretta dell'atleta. Non so mai dei momenti, perché gli atleti si allenano tanto, ma la gara è un momento a sé. nelle gare speed in particolare, quella frazione, lo stacco del piede, l'ingresso sul muro, quella reattività tra il cervello e il messaggio sonoro è veramente un elemento che si è allenato ma rimane sempre un momento unico quando si è in gara, quando c'è la tensione, tutto vibra dentro il corpo perché è pronto a scatenare l'energia, l'adrenalina di andare poi a tutto gas e basta veramente un niente, un'anticipazione un po' troppo, una reattività motoria come la si chiama, un po' troppo rapida, lì dove non serve che si paga troppo caro.
So we are waiting for a decision here from the judges as to exactly what's going to happen here with Margot Heights. There is still some backing and forthing going on the ground. Keep you posted as soon as we know. Margot has moved away from the wall. She's having a bit of a moment over to the side. I believe that might have been a false start, but I think the judges are trying to decide whether that's to do with the fact that she's been a little bit distracted due to their clock not working, or whether she's caused enough false starts to be eliminated. A real shame there as well, because she's quite a contender. She could have gone through. 9.79 was her first climb, and that's well within the top 16 that could have put her through to the finals. But it's looking like it's just going to be Julia now. And it is. Here she is then, Julia Levochkina. A slip, she manages to hold it. She's got to put a good time in here. She's got to gain something. Otherwise, she's going to have some issues. 10.38, it could be just enough. It is just enough at the moment. Three slowest times are at 14.06, 13.41, and 10.79. So at the moment, that 10.38 is enough to keep Julia Levochkina in the competition, but we still have Anastasia Goryasha, Patricia Trudziak, Ksenia Polakina, and also Martina Zanetti still to come, and those four are the athletes that have currently put in slower times. Now, if they can put in a faster time on their second climb, as Julia has already finished, that was her second, then Julia could be out as well. We're seeing a bit of a mix-up here with our speed athletes. Losing some of the greats. Right, so another discussion happening at the bottom of the ball here. We'll wait and see. So all of the valley here at Arco as well. Multiple routes, multiple places to climb outdoors. The town centre itself is littered with climbing shops. It's definitely a climbing town. It is absolutely beautiful, the valley here, running along next to where we are, next to the Castile, up on the top of the hill that's just behind us, actually, directly behind the wall. You probably can't quite see it. You might be able to see a bit of a rock face to either side of the wall. Sitting right on the very top of that is a medieval castle that was built around 1000 AD. So it's over 1,000 years old, the castle, and it's still standing right behind the wall where we are now. Beautiful view, and the entire town is full of old brickwork. It's a great place to come down to, very activity central. So if you are able to get down for the Rockmaster, it's running over the next couple of days as well. There's bouldering going on, there's lead later on today if you can make it down. Do try and do that as well. We're on with our next athletes then. So we're now with Monika Prokopiuk and Anna Saiganova. Anna Saiganova, number 31 on the right-hand side, and Prokopiuk, number 41 on the left. So 41 on the left, 31 on the right. We're flying now with Anna Saiganova. 9.01, our new fastest time today. Anna Saiganova definitely progressing forward into the final rounds. And next to her, 9.48, a good time there for Monika Prokopiuk. She shaves 30 milliseconds off her first climb. So 9.48 for her second. Her first was 9.70. So she has improved on that one. That should be enough to see her through to the top 16. Remember, we're only losing 3 here at this stage of the competition. There aren't many female athletes here at all. We're now with our next 2 then. So our next 2 are going to be Martina Zanetti, number 32. She'll be on the right-hand route. And next to her will be Klaudia Buczek, number 42 for Poland on the left. So 42 on the left and Martina Zanetti, number 32 on the right. They take their marks. Klaudia Buczek, another one to watch out for as we move through the competition. World ranked 11th, but she was 7th. She's been as high as 7th. Put in a lot of good times. Here we are then, Buczek. A standard performance for her, nice and flowing. A lot of support for our native Italian athletes. 8.95, a new fastest time today. 8.95 for Klaudia Buczek there. Shaving over a second off her first climb. She's done exactly what I was mentioning earlier on today, putting in a slow but steady time on the first climb, and then trying to improve on the second one. So with the first climb of 9.59, she already knew that she's probably going to be going through, and now she's just tried to improve on that because she's secure with the place in the finals, and she has done, shaving an entire second off her previous climb. And also then a pretty good effort there from Martina Zanetti, shaving 13.41 down to 13.02 on her next one. Her next 2 athletes then are Anastasia Guryasha of the Ukraine. She's number 33. She will be on the right-hand side. Next to her will be Anuk Jalbert, number 43 on the left. Now, Anuk had a fall earlier on today, so she's going to need to put in a good time here today, and you can see she's going for it now. She wants to put in a good time here. She has to if she wants to go through to the finals. It's looking good. She gets it, 8.91. We're shaving even more time off our fastest time here today. A miss, unfortunately, there for Anastasia Guryasha. But for Anuk Jalbert, no messing up this time, 8.91. And that means that she will definitely be moving forward into the 16 finalists later on this evening. Our next 2 athletes then, 2 athletes from Poland. It feels like I want to go into they're going neck and neck stage, but they're not at the moment. They're just trying to put the fastest time in. I'll try and keep both yourself and me reminded of that as we move through. The knockout stage comes later on this evening. So currently 2 Polish athletes moving out then. Patricia Chudziak, number 34. Now she's going to be on the right-hand side, and she's up against Edyta Ropek, number 44. Ropek on the left-hand side. Ropek with that big history on this particular discipline. She is world ranked 3rd. Well, she was just before just at the start this year, still in Baku, even though she missed Baku, the speed competition. Nice, steady, but fast climbs here for both athletes. A bit of a stall there, unfortunately, for Patricia. On the right-hand route, Edyta with a 9.95. Good time for her. 9.95. That shaves a little bit of time off her first time, which was 10.17. 13.01 for Patricia after that unfortunate little bit of a fall. So she'll be relying on her first time, which was 10.41, and she was one of the slower athletes as well. So she's at a little bit of a risk, which is interesting. She could possibly not be making it through. And next 2 then, 2 definitely ones to watch out for as well. We have Nina Latch, number 35, on the right-hand side for Austria, and next to her, Alina Gaidamakina, which I believe is pronounced Gaidamakina. I'm trying to get my Russian pronunciations down, so I'll try Gaidamakina. She's on the left-hand side, and that's number 45. Here we are then. Gaidamakina, world-ranked 2nd overall. She came 2nd in Baku as well. 8.71. We are knocking our fastest time even closer. At the moment, 8.71, a very good time there. And unfortunately, no hit there for Nina Latch, which is a risky position for her to be in at this stage. I believe she had a fall earlier on, and that could mean that she's out, actually, which is good news for Patricia Chudziak, not too good for Nina Latch. Our next 2 athletes then, Katarina Savai, number 36, will be on the right-hand route, and next to her will be Maria Krasavina of Russia, number 46 on the left. So how's everyone doing? Where are you joining us from? Do let us know. You can get in touch with us on Twitter using the hashtag IFSCWC. I'll try and keep checking that as much as I can. So we are away then with a quick start there from Maria Krasavina, another big name in speed climbing, and a nice time there of 8.90. It's not the fastest we've seen today, but it's close. Oh, and although Caterina Salvine managed to hit the button there, she's unfortunately not hit it hard enough. That timer is still running, which means that Caterina will be relying on her first time of 17.15. And I believe that means that Caterina Salvine is unfortunately out of the speed final rounds. Now, she probably expected that herself. She's predominantly a boulderer. She loves bouldering. That is her main sport. She does do a little bit of lead every now and then, but I interviewed her a little while ago and I said, which one do you prefer? And she was like, it's lead. It's bouldering. It's all about the bouldering for me. She's a frequent competitor at Kits Rock. She's actually the reigning champion at Kits Rock after last year. In Kitzbühel, we were in Kitzbühel early this year for a bouldering World Cup as well, in which she made it through into the finals, and she's been doing that frequently as well. We've seen a couple of our bouldering athletes just stepping it up a notch this year, making it more frequently into the finals. Our next two athletes out there, number 37 on the right-hand side is Alla Mariench of the Ukraine. Next to her, number 47 for Russia, Yulia Kaplina, the one to watch out for throughout this competition. She's the one that holds the current speed world record. She's still putting in a relatively slow time here, though, and she fell on the first one. She's going to need to do something good here. 10.07. Should be okay to see her through. But still much slower than we're used to seeing from her. 10.11 from Alla Mariench, which is a faster time than her first. Just 10.38, 10.11 is an improvement, which is exactly what these athletes are trying to do here at this stage of the competition. Our next athletes then coming out will be Stephanie Pitschler on the right-hand side for Austria, number 38. And on the left-hand side, we'll have Alexandra Rudzinska of Poland, number 48. These two are our last two to climb then, guys, in the women's qualifications. We're going to be going on to the men's qualifications very shortly. And I believe, as we have a little bit of a different formatting here at Arco, we're going to be having the 16 knockout round straight after this one as well. So I believe we'll go on to the men's qualifications, then back to the women's for the 16 knockout rounds, so the first stage of our final rounds, and they'll come back for the 8 athletes later on this evening, down to 4, down to our small final and our final later on tonight. Here we are then, Stephanie Pitschler on the right-hand side, and next to her is Alexandra Rudzinska for Poland on the left. Rudzinska should be putting in a good time here. She came third in Baku. It's looking, though, like we've either had a clock failure or a false start there on Alexandra Rudzinska, and with no time on her first climb, which I believe was due to a fall. That's one false start. That's going to be interesting here. We wait for a decision from the judges. That could be a reclimb. Stephanie Pitschler, not entirely sure what's happening. One of the judges there saying just wait on for a second. There's Angelo down on the ground. The man himself is the chief organizer here at Arco. And he's having a chat with one of the IFSC officials down on the ground here, just to decide exactly what's going on between these two athletes. Whether that was a problem with the clock or whether we're going to have another run at this one. It's interesting, though, it seems to be the clock on the left-hand side that we're having issues with, by the looks of things. So, yes, it looks like we're having a bit of a technical discussion here again. Ho-hum, it's always the way. And the other question I'd like to pose to you guys, if you're watching us now, is what's been a highlight so far for you of the IFSC year? Let us know. Get your answers into the IFSC Twitter, which is hashtag IFSCWC. Which have you preferred? The lead cups we've had, the bouldering, if it's been lead or bouldering, which one? We had a fantastic European Championships that we covered as well in Chamonix for the lead. Really interesting developments with Ramonet up against Dmitry Fakiranov in the final, that young Russian athlete that's been a little bit hit and miss since then, actually, but put up quite the show at that competition. Briançon was a good comp as well, with that giant rhino horn at the very top of the wall, that really difficult final move after that really long route in the finals. So Ramonet doing really well there as well. He's really back on form as well this year. He's a little bit mixed throughout the year last year, having a lot of early falls during the lead season. This year he's right back on form. He's knocked already Sachiyama off the world ranked #1 top spot, and he's reclaimed it. That's where Ramonet's used to being, at the top of the pile. And he's done it again. Sachiyama getting knocked down into second, and Sachi quite happy about it though. We chatted to him at IMSH just recently, another highlight as well. Fantastic facilities, fantastic wall, great organisation, really good comp, great setting as well, all the way through that comp. We had a brief conversation with Sachi there. He was saying how much he's actually looking forward to challenging Ramonet this year. It seems to be quite a nice, friendly competition. And then what highlight was it for you for bouldering as well? Let us know. Get in touch with us on Twitter using the hashtag IFSCWC. It's looking like we're going to have a reclimb here. The athletes are getting into the right mentality, so it's looking like that was a technical issue with the clock. So, Rudzinska prepares herself again, our bronze medalist from Baku earlier in the year. Rudzinska, very strong athlete in the speed, world ranked 5th. But she was World Cup ranking 1st, remember, after taking the gold medal at the very first one this year in Chongqing. Now, she went from 29th at the end of 2011 up to 3rd at the end of last year, and she's still holding it around that point as well. That's a massive jump. That's a jump of 26 places in a year. Just shows you how often these athletes suddenly decide to step up that game, and unfortunately, although I'm talking about it, Rudzinska is going to be absolutely devastated about that. A very early fall, the pressure's obviously on her. Stephanie Pitchler putting in a time of 10.22. What a shame for Rudzinska. That's 2 no scores, which means she is out at this stage of the comp. 10.22 for Stephanie Pitchler, which shaves round about 1/10 of a second off her first climb. Stephanie still looking calm and collected. Rudzinska, she's going to be so upset over that one. After all the messing around at the bottom of the wall as well. What a shame to see our... Well, what was world rank #1, I think she's currently holding world rank #2. I will get that double checked in a moment, but she's had that bronze medal and a gold medal already this year, and we're losing her at this stage of the competition. So it's looking like we're going to have another climb here. We've got number 39, Ksenia Polokina, and Yulia Levochkina, number 49. Polokina, number 39, is going to be on the right. Levochkina, number 49, is going to be on the left. So we go straight on to the next round, by the look of things, which I think is just... Yes, this is our last climb of Ksenia, and it's looking like we're having a reclimb for Yulia Levochkina, maybe due to a technical issue, I'm not sure. That first climb for her looked like it was a technical issue. I said then that I thought we could have a reclimb at the end. It's looking like the appeal has been made, and Levochkina is going to have her second climb again here next to her teammate, and her teammate's final climb for the qualification rounds, Ksenia Polokina. Polokina, number 39 on the right, Yulia Levochkina, number 49 on the left. Here we are then, we are away. Levochkina putting in a good time here. She has one time so far, 10.38, so she's getting this second one now. A slip right towards the last, but still 9.75 after a slip there. You can see the kind of quality of athlete Yulia Levochkina is. Unfortunately, a missed climb there for her teammate, so she'll be relying on her first time of 10.79. Ksenia Polokina. So no time on the second one. Yulia Levochkina, despite the slip, still putting in a time of under 10 seconds, 9.75. Shaving nearly a whole second off her first time that she logged earlier today. So, that completes our qualification for the female athletes here. We move on to the male athletes straight away by the look of things. They're coming straight out. We're going to run straight through it. Keep your eye posted on the IFSC's website. The results for that first round should be up very shortly. Remember to give them about 5 minutes to get them confirmed before they're all up on the wall and officially given the nod of approval. And then we'll know who our 16 athletes are going to be for later on. So it's Jan Kritz that we've got on the left-hand side of the wall here. On the right-hand side for France is Johan de Custer. Both athletes have put in good times previously. Both athletes are used to making final stages. We are aware Jan, the young athlete from the Czech Republic, and Johan de Custer putting in a fantastic time here. And now you see the pace difference, 7.07, 7.92. 7.07 for Johan de Custer, 7.92 for Jan Kritz. Remember, as I said at the start of today, the men's current speed world record stands at 5.88 seconds. And it is actually set by one of the male athletes that we'll be seeing later on here, Evgeny Wojciechowski for Russia. He'll be out to defend that position a little bit later. We also have a previous world record holder here, Quixin Zong, ready to compete, and also Stanislav Kokorin. He'll be last out here today, our world rank number 1. Now we move on to our next two athletes for the Ukraine then. On the left-hand side, number 2, Konstantin Podjesov for the Ukraine, and he'll be up against Oleksiy Yurko of the Ukraine on the other lane, right-hand lane, number 17. 17 on the right, number 2 on the left. Kostiantin, the Ukraine, on the left-hand side, Oleksiy on the right. Okay, so we are neck and neck at this stage. Remember, it's not a race. They're trying to put the best time in. A slip there for Oleksiy. We've got Kostiantin still putting in a good time, 7.67 for him. And unfortunately, a miss at the last there for Oleksiy Yurko. Our next two athletes then are going to be Anton Polyakov of Russia, number 3. He'll be on the left-hand run. And Linsai Zong, number 18 of China, will be on the right. Those are our next two athletes. Zong on the right and Polyakov on the left.
Le ragazze, anche se poi a volte viene pagata troppo cara questa volontà di partire subito per non rimanere fuori dalla squadra degli ottavi. Dire che scivola una mano che non c'entra la piglia al meglio in questo gioco coordinato, veramente veloce, rapido.
So our next athletes then for Russia, Anton Polyakov, number 3, will be out on the left-hand run, and Linsai Zong for China, number 18. Will be out on the right. It's looking like we're having another chat at the bottom of the wall here, so we're just waiting to find out exactly what's happening. This next Zong that's coming out for China, Linsai Zong, is not our previous world record holder, Quixin Zong. So this one's the wrong Zong. The right Zong's coming up a little bit later on, Quixin Zong. He's the one to really watch out for, the previous world record holder, but I'm sure we're about to see something impressive from Linsai as well. Quixin's previous world record, 6.26 seconds. And we've taken that down in just a year to 5.88. That shows you how quickly the athletes are able to step up their standards here. So the athletes have given the all okay. Polyakov on the left, Zong on the right.
Ready.
And here we are. Zong powering for this one, and he's taken over as well. Oh, we have a full start. Despite a 7.04 there for Linsai Zong, good time. It would have been the fastest we've seen today, but he's been called down, so unfortunately we're going to have to rerun that one. Now the fault is on the side of Polyakov, and I believe that was a false start because the clock was flashing. He's just asking whether he's allowed one more or whether he'll be eliminated, and he's got the nod from the officials. So they're allowed 2. Well, they're not allowed 2, they're allowed 1. They're allowed 1 false start. If they do 2 false starts at any point during this competition, they are eliminated from the comp.
Bene, bene, bene. Fa piacere sapere che ci sono tanti azzurrini, tante azzurrine
Athletes wait for the AOK.
pronte a...
Let's hope that Lindsay can recreate that 7.04 he just gave us. Otherwise, it's an unfortunate circumstance for him. He should have stopped climbing when he heard the fault, actually. He carried on, still put in a good time, though. It's going to be a shame if he can't match it again now. It's a great start for him. A slip there from Polyakov, a slip there from Zong, a slip again from Polyakov. Zong manages 7.25, Polyakov 8.66. So unfortunately, no, Zong does not manage to replicate his first climb, 7.04. 7.25, not too bad though. We're going to take these 30 male athletes down to just 16, so we're roughly halving these. It's not like the female athletes a few moments ago, where we're only losing 3 of them. A lot more male athletes. Our next 2 athletes then. Alessandro Bulos of Italy, number 4. He'll be on the left-hand side, and he's up against Marcin Dziecięcki of Poland, who will be on the right, number 19. Dziecięcki, one to watch as we move through this competition. Challenging all the way through for titles recently. And here we see the difference between athletes that are used to being on the World Cup circuit. Look at Marcin Dziecięcki, even a stumble here, and he's well within the 8-second bracket at the top. 8.42 for Dziecięcki after that, and that was quite a big stumble as well. That cost him quite a bit of time there. Still 8.42. Incredible athlete, Marcin Dziecięcki. 12.23 for our Italian athlete, Alessandro Bulos. So he's going to need to up the game on the next climb. Otherwise, unfortunately, he'll be missing out on a place to move forward. Now, pretty much every male athlete that you're about to see on the right-hand route from now until the end are the very highest ranked athletes that we have in the world. We're about to have Jerzy Komarzyński of Poland. He's number 20. He'll be on the right-hand side. And he'll be up against David Busso of Italy, number 5 on the left. But looking at the list of athletes about to come out on the right-hand side, it's incredibly impressive. We've got Lucas Swerk after him, Sergei Sinichin, Arseny Sevchenko, Leonardo Gontero, Evgeny Wojciechowski, into Libor Hroza, Quixin Zong, Danilo Boldyrev, Yaroslav Gontarek, and then Stanislav Kokorin. That's literally the top 11 on the world rankings. They are all here. They are all competing for a medal. We're going to see some fantastic climbing here on the right-hand route. The Italians yet again making a hell of a noise here. Very quick, 6.94 there, and it looked like it came with ease from Jerzy Komarzyński, 6.94. And an 8.61, a good time there for Davide Busso of Italy, 8.61. 6.94, Jerzy Komarzyński, our new fastest time. I have the impression we're going to see our fastest time just get knocked off every single time now with our athlete on the right-hand lane. Every athlete you'll see here, well capable of pushing towards the world record. So this next athlete out is Lucas Swerk, number 21. Unfortunately, was eliminated from Chamonix just recently. Had that tricky situation due to a couple of false starts. So Lucas Swerk, number 21 on the right. Next to him is Gianluca Sirotti of Italy, which is number 6, and he's on the left. Athletes trying to get into the right mentality, take a moment to focus. Don't know whether you spotted Lucas Swerk there, just doing the sign of the cross over his chest. Quick prayer and a quick mental preparation before they take their places on the wall. They're given the AOK to take their positions. Oh no. And now they're given the OK to take their positions, so we move on from here. And here we go. No false starts here. It's looking nice. Lucas Swerk pushing ahead. A good time here, though, from Gianluca as well. 7 seconds on the dot for Lucas Swerk. And an 8.01, so nearly on the dot there as well from for Russia. And on the left is Quentin Nambo for France. Sergei Sinitsyn was world ranked 5th earlier this year, was world ranked 2nd on the World Cup at the end of 2011. Some of his best results, a gold medal at Milano in 2011 and a gold medal in Tarnow in 2009. Sergei Sinitsyn now on the right-hand side, Quentin Nambo on the left. Full starts, Sinitsyn powering up here. Very used to these routes, all of these athletes are great. Oh, and unfortunately a miss there. That was going to be a good time as well. 7.38 for Quentin Nambo, keeping the pressure on the rest of the athletes. And the pressure is definitely back on. He's going to have to perform on this next climb. Our next two then, Ludovico Fossali, number 8 on the left-hand side, and he's up against Arseny Shevchenko of Russia, number 23 on the right. So yet again, I'm going to have to just keep saying it. Every athlete you see coming out on the right-hand route right now should be earning a place in the finals based on their world ranking, on their previous performances. We're seeing a lot of very powerful speed climbers coming out onto the right-hand side. We have the pleasure of having top world rankings here. Couple of stumbles, 3 or 4 stumbles here. Interesting to see. 9.87, 12.47 for Arseny Shevchenko. 9.87 for Ludovico Fossali. So pressure on again for Arseny Shevchenko and Sergei Sinitsyn. They're going to have to perform on their next climb. Our next two athletes. So our next two athletes then, we have number 9 out coming onto the left-hand route, Yevgeny Shilambuito of the Ukraine, and he is up against Leonardo Gontero of Italy, another well-known speed athlete. He's done exceptionally well recently this year. He's number 24, and he is on the right. Gontero was world ranked 10th, has been pushing up a little bit further on this one as well. Exceptionally strong athlete. Yevgeny Shilambuito on the left. A slip, but still a 7.75. 6.84 there, though, for Leonardo Gontero. 7.75 for Shilambuito. Stanislao Zama for Italy. Next out on the left-hand side, number 10. And he's going to be going neck and neck with Evgeny Wojciechowski, our current world record holder. Fastest time of a 5.88 seconds. We get ready to see these two athletes battle it out for a place on the 16, the top 16. Those golden spots that see you through into the final later on.
At your marks.
And here we are, Evgeny Wojciechowski. You can see that one of the bigger speed athletes here. Nice through line, 6.94 with relative ease there. On the left-hand side, 7.91. Still a fantastic time there for Stanislaw Zama. Alessandro Santoni is next up on the left-hand side for Italy, number 11. Alessandro Santoni, we've seen him at previous Speed World Cups. And also on the right-hand side, next up is Libor Hroza, another one very similar build and shape to Evgeny Wojciechowski. Very tall. So the athletes next up then, Libor Hroza on the right, number 26, and also Alessandro Santoni, number 11 on the left. You can see the height and the build difference here between these two different athletes. Santoni, the new world youth champion in speed climbing from Canada just recently. Santoni was over there. There was a bit of a fluff up with some of the Russian athletes in the final and a fluff up with Santoni. They reclimbed. The Russian fell. Santoni didn't. Santoni took the World Youth Championship title and is here trying for a World Cup title now as well. Very young athlete. 6.27 seconds from Libor Hroza, though. This is what I told you. These guys are just going to keep pulling that time down as we move through here. 7.56 from Santoni. These guys know they can't afford to hang about here. So our next two athletes then, coming out onto the wall now. We have Giga Yankotelli from Georgia. Number 12 will be on the left-hand side. And Quixin Zong. We have the right Zong, not the wrong Zong, that's out now. Number 27. He'll be on the right. Now, this guy put in a 6.26 seconds last year. Incredible performance at the World Championships in Bercy as well in 2012. And now he's here to try and take home this World Cup gold. Incredible speed here from Quixin. 6.66. Good time. It's not the best so far today, but it isn't far off. 9.30 from Giga Yankotelli. So we're moving towards the halfway point now. Just two more climbs and we'll be halfway through the men's. A lot less problems now. It looks like we've got that clock working at last. Our next two athletes then will be Volodymyr Zinchenko of the Ukraine, number 14 on the left-hand side. And he'll be climbing next to Danilo Boldyrev. Oh no, I do apologize, I've skipped a guy. It's Guillaume Moreau of France. So Guillaume is now on the left-hand side. That's number 13. Guillaume Moreau, number 13 on the left. And it is Danilo Boldyrev of the Ukraine on the right. Those are our next two athletes. Danilo, another one well within capability of pushing through to the finals, but actually so is Guillaume. Times like 6.99 in Baku just recently. World ranked 43rd, Guillaume Moreau, and he's making finals this year, putting in times of 6.99. Incredible athlete from France. One of their hopes in the speed. Here we are, no false starts. Bit of a stall there from Moreau, though. A bit of a stall there again from Danilo Boldyrev, and now he's slowed right down for some reason. Didn't seem too bothered about that one at all. 11.66, not a good time here, not a good position for him to be in at this stage of the competition, considering the 6 seconds we're seeing from a lot of the other athletes. The 8.58 with the stall there that we saw from Guillaume Moreau is still pretty good. Might be enough, but at least he's put in a good time that he can work up from next time. Unfortunately, not a good climb there at all for Danilo Boldyrev. It's interesting to see Guillaume Moreau here without Bassa Mawem, actually. Bassa Mawem, another well-known French speed athlete. Mysteriously absent. If you're watching Bassa, ça va? Hope you're okay wherever you are. Missing you at the World Cups here. Saw Bassa at the European Championships in France, in Chamonix just recently. Our next two then, definite one to watch out for. Probably in competition for the gold medal actually. Yaroslav Gontarek on the right hand side here could easily be in competition for the gold. He's world ranked 4th, or was at the beginning of this year. He's been as high as 3rd on the World Cup rankings at the end of last year. He's only 20 years old, from Nikopol, but he's putting in some fantastic scores, and Gontarek came 2nd just recently in Baku, so that's going to be pulling up his overall World Cup ranking. Another one to challenge him though as well, Volodymyr Zinchenko of Ukraine on the left-hand side, but look at that, 6.88 without even drawing a sweat there from Yaroslav Gontarek. Not the fastest, but he's within the 6 seconds, and at the moment that's looking around the point 6 to 7, a high 7 is going to be seeing you into the 16. That might have been enough there actually from Vladimir as well, with a time of 7.79. So our last pair are about to come out. And that is Sean McCall and Stanislav Kokorin. So Sean's going to be on the left-hand side. He's number 15. Stanislav Kokorin is number 30. And Stanislav will be on the right, Sean McCall on the left. I've seen Sean earlier today putting in around a 9-second time. Now Stanislav is going to be putting in around a 6 to 7 seconds. There's going to be a big difference between the two of them. But remember as well, Sean is one of the highest ranked lead and bouldering athletes in the world today. He's had a gold medal on the bouldering circuit so far this year. Overall champion at the World Championships in Bercy last year. That was lead and bouldering and speed. He competes in all 3 disciplines, Sean, and that's exactly what he's doing here. But he's a lead climber like Katarina, and he's still putting in some good times at the moment. You can see there the instant difference between Stanislav and Sean. Sean's still putting in a good time here, but Stanislav 6.74, Sean with an 8.83. So yeah, as I said, around the 9 seconds. Still good for him though, and he's got another climb yet to come, 8.83. Stanislav Kokorin though, 6.74. Fastest time so far for the male athletes today is standing with Libor Rosa with a 6.27 seconds. He's the one to beat so far today. That's only 40 milliseconds roughly off the world record, remember, as well. So we're back at the start. The athletes switch lanes, climb on the other lane. But we start again from the beginning with Jan Kritz on the right-hand side this time, Johan Locusta on the left. Johan Locusta number 16 now on the left, and Jan Kritz number 1 on the right. And we are away. That looked to me then like a false start, but it's not. It hasn't been called. Jan Kritz with a slip there. Locusta is firing through this 6.99, and he put in a great time of 7.07 at the start as well. Locusta definitely making his way through into those final 16, even at this early point. Finished both of his climbs, and he's looking in a really good position to move forward from here. Johan Locusta, world ranked 26th at the start of this year. His best results at a senior level was actually here at Arco last year, where he came 11th. So maybe he's out to outperform himself and his own previous result at Arco. He's definitely putting on a good show here so far. So our next two athletes out then. On the right-hand side is Konstantin Podishov of the Ukraine, number 2. On the left-hand side is Oleski Yurko of the Ukraine, number 17. Now, Oleski Yurko has to put in a good time here. He had a slip on his first climb. So if he wants to make it through into the top 16, it's now or never. Pressure is on for our athlete on the left-hand side here. Number 17, Oleski Yurko, and you can see on his face as well that he knows it. His teammate there, Konstantin Podishov, looking a lot more relaxed at this stage. He put in a time of 7.67. Konstantin Podishov on his first climb, so he's already looking pretty good. He just needs to top here, try and improve on it. Next to him, though, Oleski Yurko. This is it for him.
Ready.
And here we go. He's keeping it slow and steady. Doesn't want to cause another fall here at this stage. Good movement here from Konstantin. 7.34 and a miss. A miss at the last from Oleski Yurko. 7.34 from Konstantin. Good time for him. Shaves 30 milliseconds off. Oleski Yurko is looking like he's out though after missing the button at the top there. What a shame. We move on to the next two athletes then. It is Anton Polyakov of Russia. Number 3, he will be out on the right-hand lane. On the left-hand lane, we have Linsai Zong, put in a good time earlier, 7.25, was setting the fastest time earlier on. He's on the left-hand side, Linsai Zong, number 18. Set one of the fastest times earlier before we got onto those final 10 athletes that are challenging for the medals. Can Linsai improve on that 7.25? He's already looking pretty good to make his way through into the final at the moment. Yeah, I'm okay at the moment. A slip, unfortunately, there from Linsai Zong. He's down on the ground again. 7.25 should be enough, though. 7.42 for his from his competitor Anton Polyakov there.
7.42 on the right. For the Russian Anton Polyakov.
So not too happy with that one at all there, Linsai Zong, but still got a good time on his first climb. Could be enough for him. We move on to our next two athletes then, which will be Alessandro Boulos of Italy. Number 4, he'll be out on the right-hand lane, and next to him is Marcin Dziecięcki of Poland. He'll be out on the left. Now Marcin put in a great time earlier, 8.42 after a fall towards the top of the wall. He's going to be looking to improve on that one. He is one of the guys that we'd expect to see moving through to the top 16. We'll wait and see how he's going to perform now at this level of the competition. So our athletes are ready, presenting to the judges and being told to take their marks. Dziecięcki on the left-hand side, then we have Boulos on the right. The Italians are making a lot of noise, but Dziecięcki's been called down for a false start. So the athletes have to come down, wait the judge's decision, and then we move on from here. Dziecięcki obviously got a lot of pressure on him at the moment to try and improve that first score, as he's within the 8-second bracket and he wants to be within the 7.
Si riparte dopo la prova interrotta.
Athletes take their marks again. And you see the delay there for a moment from Dziecięcki, and then trying to recoup that time now, and he's managing it. 6.50, well within the time that he needed to put in there to see himself through. I told you to watch out for Dziecięcki, and he's done it there as well. 8.03 as well from Alessandro Boulos. A massive difference between his first climb and this. 12.23 on his first climb, 8.03 on his second. Trying to prove that he has what it takes to make through to the top 16. Let's hope he has. So we move on from here. Our next two athletes out then. We have Davide Busso of Italy, number 5. He'll be out on the right-hand side. And on the left, we have Jerzy Komosinski, earlier time of 6.94. The first athlete today to break the 6-second barrier. He then sort of set a trend with the rest of the athletes. He's now back out again here. Jerzy Komosinski of Poland, another one that's definitely competing for a medal here. Let's see how he does on this second run.
Forza Davide. At your marks.
Here we are.
Ready.
Looked like a false start there. Yep, we have a false start from our Italian athlete, Davide Busso. So he's back down, and as is Jerzy Komosinski. Get ready for another climb again here at this stage. See Lucas Swerk warming up behind the wall, getting himself into the right mentality to move into this competition in a moment's time.
At your mark. Ready.
Here we are then, over on the left-hand side of Poland, putting in a good time again here. Jerzy Komosinski, 6.63. It's better than his previous time. Yet again, 9.13 there for our Italian athlete, which is not quite as good as his previous score of 8.61. So he'll be reliant on his first score to try and see him through. 6.63 though, a good improvement there for Jerzy Komosinski. Our next two athletes then for Poland, Lucas Swerk, number 21. He'll be out on the left-hand lane. On the right hand, we will see Gianluca Surotti for Italy, number 6.
At your mark.
The athletes take their marks.
Ready.
False start there for our Italian athletes. We are down again. Gianluca Surotti causing the false start. Lucas Swerk back down. That's probably put the jitters into Lucas Swerk as well. After his experience recently, you can see he's smiling there and nodding to one of the officials. Now, after one of his recent competitions over in Chamonix at the European Championships, he ended up being eliminated for his false starts there, being a little bit ahead of the game. Unfortunately, missing out on a chance of pushing for the title. Swerk well within the capabilities of taking the title as well. 7 seconds previously.
At your mark. Ready.
And here we are then. We are off. Lucas Swerk putting in a good time here. But so is our Italian athlete, getting a nice little chase up from Gianluca. 6.89 for Swerk. He shaves some milliseconds off his previous one of 7 seconds. So a better climb there for Swerk. 7.96 there for Surotti. Again, shaving a couple of milliseconds rather off his previous time of 8.01. So both athletes managing to put in a better climb this time round. That's exactly what they wanted to do and what they wanted to achieve out here. Our next two then will be Sergei Sinitsyn. Will be out on the left-hand lane. Sergei, number 22 for Russia. And on the right-hand lane, our next athlete will be Quentin Nambo with a previous time of 7.38. He's going to be looking to break the 6-second barrier here. Quentin Nambo, number 7 on the right-hand side. And then, of course, Sergei Sinitsyn, number 22 on the left.
At your mark. Ready.
And here we go, no false starts this time. Sergei Sinitsyn really powering up the wall here, trying to put in a better time than before. The fall from last time, 6.80, and that should be enough to see him through. He needed to put in a good one there. No time on his first climb. 8.55 from Quentin Nambo, so he'll be reliant on his first score of 7.38. 7.38 on his first climb. relying on that now to see him through into the final stages. And next two then, we are on to Ludovico Fussali of Italy. Number 8 will be on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, we have Arseny Shevchenko of Russia. Number 23.
At your mark. Ready.
Full start. It was a nice quick beginning there for both of them. Good times here for both athletes. 6.96, 8.21. 6.96 goes to Arseny Shevchenko. He needed that. His first time was 12.47. He's managed to best that here now. And next to him is Ludovico Fussali with a time of 8.21. Taking his previous time of 9.87 down by more than a second here. Great performances from both of those athletes there. Yevgeny Shlembotyko is next up for the Ukraine, number 9. He'll be on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side then, we'll be seeing Leonardo Gontero, number 24. Gontero is another one to keep your eyes peeled for. As I mentioned earlier, putting in times of 6.27, 6.27 and 6.43 during Baku. So more than capable of going in below the 7-second barrier. Ended up taking the third place position. They got the bronze medal at Baku. But he's hungry here as well on his home turf. He wants to be in that final. 6.58. Good time there for Gontero. Faster than his first. His first was 6.84. And unfortunately a miss there for Shlembotyko. So he's going to be reliant on 7.75 to try and make it through into the top 16.
Il posto ce l'ha. 6.58, terza posizione. Questo parziale, davanti a lui solo Marcin, Pieschi e Igor Rosa. 6.56-27 i due tempi davanti.
Stanislav Zama for Italy, out on the right-hand side, number 10. On the left, we have Yevgeny Wojciechowski, a current world record holder for Russia, number 25. On the left-hand side, one of the taller speed athletes, up there with Libor Hroza, who will be next out on the left lane.
At your mark.
So Stanislav Zama, number 10 on the right, and number 25, Evgeny Wojciechowski on the left. Wojciechowski with a nice quick start here. Really fluid movements, just flowing through the forms here to get to the top. 6.54 seconds. Again with ease, just makes it look like it's a walk in the park. 6.54. Taking 40 milliseconds off his first climb. And he's got his shoes off before he's even landed. Look, that's a sign of a professional right there. Next to him, Stanislav Zama, number 10, a time of 8.18. Not as good as his first one, 7.91. He has to hope that will be enough.
E il nostro Alessandro.
Libor Hroza now on the left-hand side, number 26 for the Czech Republic. And on the right, our current youth world champion, Alessandro Santoni for Italy, number 11. Santoni putting in a good time a few moments ago, 7.56. Libor Hroza still has the fastest time, 6.27 seconds. Can he best that now? Hroza frequently qualifying in first place getting the fastest time to go through into the finals rounds. Then he often has this tricky section of time during the finals. Let's hope it doesn't happen to him again here. 6.13, he's done it again. Even quicker, 6.13. The fastest time by far of the qualifying rounds, 7.22, an even faster time there for Santoni. A good performance for him as well. So Santoni looking good to go through to the next round. Libor Rosa looking certain to go through to the finals. The next two, Giga Yankotelli of Georgia, number 12, will be out on the right-hand side, and Quixin Zong, number 27, will be out on the left. Zong's earlier time was 6.66 seconds. His fastest in terms of the world record attempt is 6.26. Can he challenge Libor Rosa for that top-ranked spot going through into the top 16? Giga Yankotelli with an earlier time of 9.30, which at this stage is not going to be enough to see him through into the final rounds. So he's going to need to up his game a little bit here. We'll wait and see how he gets on. So we have Quixin Zong, number 27, on the left-hand side, and he'll be up against Giga Yankotelli, number 12, for Georgia, on the right. Slip there for Yankotelli. Zong firing ahead, 6.41. It's faster than his first attempt of 6.66. It's enough to see him through to the top 16, but not quite challenging Rosa yet. Italian athlete just, Georgian athlete just Yankotelli, number 12, with the time of, a missed time there. He hasn't managed to actually hit the top. So he's reliant on 9.30, which I don't think is enough at this stage to see him into the top 16. Remember, we're roughly halving these athletes in terms of taking them through to the top 16. Quite lucky here at the moment as well with the roof and the structure that we've got on the wall. Even though the sun is absolutely sweltering, I'm sweating buckets out here in front of the wall. The wall itself is covered with shade still at this stage in the day, and we're hoping that will cause the holes to not get a little bit too slippy and messy for these guys as they're climbing. So the next up is Danilo Boldirev. He'll be on the left-hand side, number 28, and he's up against Guillaume Moreau, number 13, on the right.
At your mark. Ready.
And here we go. Both clocks have failed to start there. Not sure whether that was actually a false start or whether that's a technical issue. It's looking like we could have another discussion on the cards. At the moment it looks like they're discussing which of them actually caused the false start, but both clocks stopped then at that point, which means it was either a simultaneous false start or we're having another technical issue again. The clocks are back on again now. We hope that's going to work. So Danilo Boldirev, number 28, on the left-hand side, up against Guillaume Moreau of France, number 13. The hope for France, an earlier time of 8.58. It could be just enough to see him through. Well, let's hope he can improve on it here and secure a place in those 16 later on. Here we are, a nice quick start for both these athletes. Danilo Boldirev's powering ahead here. A stumble, unfortunately, but he's managed to still put in a 6.86. And he needed that. His first climb was 11.66. 7.47 for Guillaume Moreau. Great climb there for him. Good time. 8.58 his previous climb. 7.47, more than a second he's just taken off his initial climb. And that hopefully will be enough to see him through into the next stage. We'll wait and see. Coming towards the end now, guys, of this our qualification round. We'll be then going on to the women's first round of the final stage. And I'll talk you through that when we get onto it in a few moments' time. We're about to have our next two athletes, which are Volodymyr Zinchenko of the Ukraine, number 14, will be out on the right. And Yaroslav Gontarek, the one I told you to watch out for, number 29, also of the Ukraine, on the left. Gontarek taking second at Baku just recently. Still only 20 years old.
Reading.
Here we go. No false starts here from either of these athletes. A stumble there at that point, though, for Yaroslav Gontarek, and a pause afterwards. He's got a 6.88, so it's looking like he's going to be going through. 7.31 there for Zinchenko, which is faster than his first time of 7.79, but with a 12.18 on his second climb for Yaroslav Gontarek, he's going to be relying on the 6.8 at this stage. Yeah, he was currently sitting in 10th after the first round, 6.88. He still is around that level now. And we take 16 through, so we should be okay here. Our final climb then of the men's qualifying rounds. It's Sean McCall, number 15, on the right-hand side, and on the left, Stanislav Kokorin of Russia, our world rank number 1, number 30 on the left-hand side. So number 30 on the left and number 15 on the right. Sean McCall, Stanislav Kokorin. Kokorin has been world ranked first and since 2012, remember as well. He's been holding that for a while. He's from Taiwan, came first in Chongqing at the start of this year, so he's already had a gold medal at a World Cup this year. And then he also came first at Baku, so there's another gold medal there as well. 6.49, faster than his 6.74 at the start of today. Another fantastic time there for him. Sean, unfortunately, with a miss at the top there, meaning he's reliant on the 8.83 to see him through to the next stage. Will it be enough? I'm not sure it's going to be at this stage. It's looking like 6 seconds is the one to get into if you want to see yourself into the final. Kokorin desperately looking at the results at the moment, wanting to be up higher than he is. He's currently sitting in third, 6.49. But it is all about Libor Hroza at this stage of the competition with that 6.13. Incredible time there by him. Athlete from the Czech Republic, world rank number 2. So, we should now be moving on to the first round of the women's final. We're going to do that again as well for the men's. Once the results are in, give them a few seconds, they should be up on the IFSC's website. But now, because there's a different format, we should be taking first a few female athletes. First 16 down to 8 at this stage of the competition. Those 8 athletes will then come out again later on in the day. And just to give you a heads up on how the formatting works here then, as we go into the final with speed, we have a bit of a different situation. It is a knockout bout. So those 16 athletes are paired up based on their results in the first round. And those pairs then go neck and neck against each other to earn themselves a place in the next round. We go from 16 athletes, so 8 pairs, down to just 8 athletes, the ones that win out of that. Then we take those 8 athletes, so 4 pairs of athletes, and we take that down to just 4 athletes to progress to the next round. We take those 4 athletes and we get rid of another 2. Now the 2 that lose at that stage go through into a small final. Now that is to compete for the bronze medal. The 2 that win go through into the grand final and they compete for the gold and silver medals. So it is a knockout tournament bout at the next stage of the competition for the Speed World Cup here in Arco. And I'm just waiting for confirmation that we will be going straight ahead with those 16 athletes for the women's, which is what we've been told. It's a bit of a different format. And as soon as we know, I will keep you updated on that one. Hopefully you've enjoyed the qualifications. I'll let you know as soon as we know what's happening here on the ground.
With the 8 of finals, it will be really interesting and emotional pairing with a direct knockout between the two climbers. To going on with our really full and emotional day, the third day of Rockmaster Festival 2013, in questo terzo giorno di Rockmaster Festival sta entrando nel vivo. Adesso con la speed si comincia a sentire l'adrenalina che sale, il cuore che batte forte quando saranno i blowdown diretti, le sfide secche. Rockmaster Festival 2013, la sezione arrampicata sportiva Arco, sezione sportiva Rockmaster, in collaborazione con la International Federation of Sport Climbing, la fase l'italiano paralimpico Monis al sostegno della regione autonoma Trentino Sud, con la provincia autonoma di Trento, comune di Arco, pubblicato Garderedro, lo interessati. Sponsor tecnici Singrips, Camp, la sportiva Saneva, Automa Castagna. Il supporto e sostegno di Cassarona del Togalda, AXA, delegato per i congressi, Acqua Viva, Berger Troico, Modo Two Points, Provincia Trentino del Cappuccino G3. La collaborazione di Arco Climbing, invia in sicurezza gli uomini del soccorso appena della Guardia di Finanza, della Polizia di Stato, al Centro di Stamento Alpino di Moena, l'atto medico coordinato dal dottor Ferdinando Bosco con il supporto dei volontari della Croce Rossa Italiana.
E vedo che qualcuno ha visto bene, visto la bella giornata, di andare a bersi qualcosa piuttosto che iniziare a mangiare un buon panino. È già aperto operativo il ristoro, guidato come sempre dagli amici dell'AFSC di Rockmaster. E allora restate con noi, ma soprattutto continuate a vivere questo bel festival. Sono arrivati anche gli amici, partner di questo bel evento. All'interno potete trovare Camp, Saleva e Cassin. Insieme a loro però nel village non mancano tutti gli altri partner che hanno scelto di vivere insieme, presentando prodotti, attrezzature o qualche curiosità che si lega, che è dentro a questo nostro bel mondo verticale. Allora passate a trovarli. Il village dalle ore 14 inizierà di nuovo a pulsare come ieri sera, nella grande serata degli Oscar dell'arrampicata. Eravamo in tanti, gli atleti, prova. I grandi nomi, le stelle dell'arrampicata. Abbiamo visto soprattutto una da Mondra che si è guadagnato ancora il merito per questa stagione su roccia, questa sua infinita girovagare per le pareti alla ricerca sia anche del grado più duro del mondo, ma soprattutto di una ricerca personale, quella che un po' ci ha raccontato Adam ieri sera, questo suo viaggiare sognando su piccoli appigli e grandi posti dove continua a conoscere amici che lo motivano. E lui è veramente un esempio per tutti, questo giovane ragazzo della Repubblica Ceca di Brno, ormai il talento indiscusso dell'arrampicata mondiale. Bravo Adam. E poi Mina Markovic, atleta slovena che ha stupito la commissione. Insieme a lei c'erano anche la Heiter e Jakob Schubert, anche loro forti atleti come tanti, ma Mina ha stupito per la sua polivalenza, la voglia di non mollare mai in ogni specialità, dalla lead al boulder, insomma la regina della combinata è stata soprannominata di questa sua tenacia che la contraddistingue. Quindi bellissima la serata ieri sera che ha segnato questi due premi, queste due nomination, e fa piacere che la comunità dei climber ha risposto veramente con un sold out in questa nuova sala qui al centro giovanile adiacente qui al Climbing Stadium. Un tutt'uno con questa giornata di arrampicata, è stato una continuità.
Well, it's looking like we are nearly ready to get things underway here. I've just been and had a chat with Christoph, and it's saying that he's saying that we are going to be doing the 16 now, and then later this evening we're going to be going the 8 down to 4, down to the small final, and then the final as well. I'll keep explaining the setup, and I'll keep telling you what's going on. We're waiting for the female athletes to say that they are ready. We are also waiting for the male athletes' results to be confirmed, and then we'll know who our 16 definitely are. Make sure there's no appeals, make sure everything's fine, and we'll move forward with that one as well. Yes, we are moments away from getting started with our 16 female athletes in the knockout bout. So I'll talk you through that again in a moment.
Parte in 10, si resta solo in 3, ma loro lo sanno bene questa mattina. Jackie montato i boulder per le ragazze con qualche appiglio in più, giusto per poter gustare passo per passo i singoli passaggi, ma vi assicuro questa mattina si sono già visti dei passaggi veramente incredibili, che solo la lungimiranza di questo maestro del boulder può creare, immaginare, ma è lui il primo a dire: l'essere qui al Rockmaster per me è già un onore, un divertimento, allora non posso che creare qualcosa di speciale per questa edizione 2013.
Quindi sarà una grande giornata anche domani, alle 13 da capo maschile, alle 17 il capo femminile, nel cuore poi della giornata 2 la gara simbolo del Rockmaster Festival, anche il programma e di Racing was tomorrow with the Buddha Showmail at 1 o'clock, at 5 o'clock the Buddha Coffee Day, and in the heart of our last day of our Sunday of Rockmaster Festival, Arco Pastry the Jewel.
Is there a sign up on the webcast saying please stand by, we're waiting for the female first quarter final or something? Well, apologies for that. I'm just getting myself a little bit confused between my mic and my radio. That's what I was asking, because that's what should be being shown now, and hopefully you guys are all still standing by. As I just said, we are just a few moments away. We are getting the female athletes ready behind the wall. When they are comfortable to go, the judges and the officials are back here, and the IFSC technical delegate gives us the nod. We will be ready to start with the first pair in the female athletes' first stage of the final. Those first two athletes will be Katarina Sarvine and Alina Gaida-Makina. They go neck and neck. The fastest one, the one that gets to the top first, goes through to the next round, which will be in the finals later on this evening. Just a few moments, we'll get things underway.
E diamo il benvenuto, sarò proprio più anche a Helmut e Susi Nave e come in Arco. Anche il pubblico Bereich. La destinazione heute sera si tratta di Giordano Susi e di Nave. griglia in gara femminile, quindi avremo anche la lista come complementi in gara maschile. Vedremo ancora Martina Zanetti in gara femminile, Alessandro Santoni e contender in gara maschile. Qui nella Fleming Arena al mitico Uda di San Giovanni con Di Marino, Donato Lella e Gigi Loro per la preparazione della prima via di gara lead semifinale outside and then to lead and at the end of finals at the speed competition we believe the Fleming Arena the exposure of our route setters to prepare the first route, the half final, the lead competition to the long side. And so, i giudici per cortesia, la speed, we are ready to start with the eighth of finals of the female competition and then the main competition. Volete partire con gli ottavi di finale, quindi giudici e assicuratori in zona gara. Ed ora sarà veramente spettacolo, ora sarà veramente grande sport now, quindi show and emotion and sport with the 8 of finals of the Speed World Cup 2030, the third stage in Arco, a tappa del circuito di Coppa del Mondo Speed 2013 qui ad Arco, dopo la tappa cinese di Chongqing e dopo la tappa di Pandi. Ora è Arco. Christophe, your technical delegate, Christophe Billon. Christophe Billon. Speedball. Christophe Billon. At the speedball. Christophe Billon at the speedball machine. Almost ready to start the 8 of finals, female and male. Vedete i cronometri per cortesia in zona gara.
Cosa capano?
Vedete le telecamere in zona gara, si riparte! And we start with the first pairing, with the first direct out, con la prima accoppiamento, la prima eliminazione diretta. E vediamo Alina.
So it is Alina Gader-Makina, number 45 on the left-hand side, and Katarina Savine, number 36 on the right. We are ready to go. The first round of our final bout here in Arco. We start things off. These two athletes going head-to-head. The winner of this race, one race to the top, goes through into the next stage of the finals later on this evening. So this is to be one of the 8 athletes that moves to the next stage. Welcome back. A very quick start there. It seems that the judges just sort of appeared out of nowhere. Here we are then. Now Gader-Makina is trying to reserve a little bit of energy here because she knows that Katarina Savine can't do this exactly that fast. She's not putting in the fastest time she can herself. It's still a pretty good time, 8.78. But it is Gader-Makina, as we would expect. Great performance. sprint as an athlete, but it is Gator McKenna that moves forward to the next round. Our next pairing, Editor Ropek, number 44 on the left against Yulia Kaplina, number 47 on the right. This should be a good race. Both of these athletes are very competent. Yulia Kaplina, a current world record holder. Editor Ropek, world ranked number 3.
Attuale leader of the World Cup Circuit, leader del circuito di Coppa la Caprina, una vittoria basso terzo posto a Chongqing e il rientro con problemi al ginocchio per Editor Ropek. Il N05 Mr. Record, 8.05 record. Abbiamo visto che può segnare l'autrice anche in qualifica.
So Yulia Kaplina on the right hand side, number 47. Number 44, Editor Ropek on the left. Kaplina won in Baku just recently, the gold medal, where Editor Ropek was mysteriously absent. Here we are. Still both athletes. Fumble there from Editor Ropek. It's given Yulia Kaplina the advantage. Both athletes relatively slow though, based on what they're normally used to doing. It looks like the clocks haven't worked there, so maybe we've got a false start. I'm not entirely sure what's happened. That could be a technical issue yet again, guys. I do apologize for that. Looking like our judges are trying to confirm that that was the clocks and not the athletes. And yep, these guys are unhooking, and it's looking like they're going to be taking the judges' stopwatch time instead. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. It's looking like Kaplina's going to be moving forward.
Sembra ripetuta la prova, ok.
Some conversing at the bottom of the wall. Our next pair will be Klaudia Buksiak, number 42 for Poland, and Ksenia Polakina for Russia, number 39. Klaudia Buksiak on the left, number 42. Ksenia Polakina, number 39 on the right.
Sospensione di qualche minuto per noi e poi saremo ancora in gara dopo questa prima sfida, la first of night, dall'esito scontato, ma Marina Saurvain ha giocato.
Dopo la prova libera di questa mattina sul boulder, è andata ad assaggiare i blocchi e ho parlato prima con il tracciatore Remy Vergassi, che in assistenza buon Ricky Godot, e mi ha detto che andavano bene i blocchi, solo una piccola raddrizzata, qualcosa, due presine piccole e due cosine da togliere, qualcosa da aggiungere, qualcosa da togliere, poi andava già tutto bene. Hanno gradito il primo menu e le nostre top climber per quanto riguarda il boulder, il più ne andremo a vedere domani, entreremo nel vivo domani con la grande prova boulder che io system, un'eliminazione spietata che vedrà partire un gruppo da 10, ne resteranno solo 3. Oggi ragazzi hanno iniziato le ragazze questa
Waiting
mattina.
now for our next pair to come out. Looks like we're having a bit of an adjustment with
Tolte le prese,
one of the
tutto sarà
G-clamps at the bottom of the wall here. You can see on the left-hand side they're just preparing that a little bit, and I think they might be checking the clocks to make sure we don't have a similar issue that we just had with Yulia Kaplina and Editor Ropek. Our next two athletes, as I mentioned, will be Klaudia Buksiak of Poland, number 42, up against Ksenia Polakina of Russia, number 39.
Finale al maschile, anche per raccontarci un po' sulle nostre cose, spiegheremo Alessandro Santoni contro Stanley Giacconi.
e noi adesso andiamo
Sfida facile per Alessandro, non lo so che era, se non lui può entrare in arena, copiata Luca Schietta.
Andiamo avanti, dicevo, con questo ottavo di finale, dopodiché alle 12:30 saremo già pronti per partire sulla disciplina regina, la mid, con la prova on site che andranno a disputare gli atleti che hanno superato l'Open e i limitati, prova unica che deciderà la grande scremata di 8
Looks like we're just waiting for a decision from our officials at the wall here before we move on with the next stage of the competition, and we'll keep you updated. We know who the next two should be. We'll wait to see the knockout between the two of them.
Master Lead è una prova conosciuta, appunto il lavorato come viene chiamato in gergo tecnico, ma gli atleti andranno a effettuare una ricognizione, potranno starsene appesi, studiare da presa a presa i movimenti che i nostri Leonardo Di Marino, Donato Vella e Gigi Villoro hanno preparato per loro. Adesso sulla torre di destra, quella grigia per voi amici pubblico che guardate, quella famosa del duello, sono già pronte le corde infilate nei moschettoni, due itinerari, appigli rossi, appigli blu. Sarà lì la sfida dall'onside di oggi, nel cuore della giornata, 12:30 start onside lead.
Is already looking at the lead wall with the onside half final. The first also to climb our lead Master Rompy. With the best invite in the world, and the four arrived out from the open, and then only 8 will go on to the final afterward. The same for the female competition. And we are ready to start again with Guitar Rotek and Julia Caprina.
E si ritornano gli assicuratori, segno che siamo pronti, giudici di nuovo in postazione. Aspettiamo l'uscita delle atlete.
Julia Rotek, nel 1979, veramente un'eternità nei circuiti. Abbiamo per lei un settimo posto già dalla World Cup Circuit del 2005, vittoria 2009-2011. E dopo i suoi problemi di nuovo in gara la veterana della sfida di Rotek contro la giovane russa Julia Caprina, 20 anni fa, un record nelle sue mani
Deve aver instaurato un buon feeling con questo tutore, questo corpo esterno che la segue in una disciplina come la sfida, avere un
So we are now ready with our next athletes. It's looking like we're going to be reclimbing the previous climb. So we're going back to Edita Ropek, number 44 on the left-hand side, and Julia Caprina, number 47 on the right. We are going to have a reclimb. It looks like that was the clocks and not the athletes. We'll wait to see which one of these athletes is going to be progressing into the next final round.
Ready?
Here we are. And the clocks yet again. The clocks yet again. Our athletes are called down. Not entirely sure what's going to happen here again now. I do apologise for these delays, guys. Try and keep things running as quickly as we possibly can. I'm sure these guys are doing everything they possibly can to make sure that this gets functioning again as quickly as possible.
Stand by qualche minuto. A volte la tecnologia non vuole collaborare e quindi anche le gare veloci come la speed si devono rallentare.
So we wait again. Hopefully this will get sorted as soon as possible. If you are just tuning in, welcome. We are here in Arco, covering the Speed World Cup at the Rockmaster Festival in Italy. We're currently at the qualification stages. We've just seen completed. We're now moving on to the very first round of the final. Different formatting here to what we're used to at Standard World Cups. The first final round is happening now. Both men's and women's, 16 athletes that have made it through from the qualification rounds. We're now taking those 16 athletes down to 8. Then when we have those 8 names, they are going to wait until 7 o'clock this evening when we'll be back with you, showing you the final rounds and the medal ceremony for the speed competition later on this evening as well. So they get a little bit of a break after this one. We're still deciding on who those 16 athletes are going to be. Just a little bit of a technical incident going on behind the wall here, some issue with the clocks it looks like. And we'll try and have that fixed and underway as soon as possible. I'm sure the local organisers here are on that one at the moment. I'll keep you posted as we go along.
Esposto a nord, ma non fa niente, lo spettacolo è qui davanti alla speedball. Tra poco siamo pronti a ricominciare in questa lunga giornata, penultima giornata, ma queste 48 ore durano veramente più di quanto nessuno si possa immaginare. Oggi veramente il timing è infinito, ricco, denso. Come piace a noi, una gara dietro l'altra, non si può perdere nessuno di tutti questi spettacoli. Poi non solo climbing, perché questo è Rockmaster Festival, allora c'è il village, c'è l'experience, ognuno può scegliere come riempire al meglio la propria ora, i propri minuti preziosi in questo weekend indimenticabile, questo primo weekend di settembre, a tutto climbing, a tutto outdoor. Ancora una volta Arco protagonista, Arco capitale, abbiamo detto tante volte, ma non è un merito detto solo da noi, ma confermato da tanti, da chi ha vissuto, da chi ha visto e da chi ha avuto anche voglia di riportare questa bellissima impressione. Qui veramente si vive bene, si sta in movimento e lo stare in movimento è gioia, è festa, è gare. Tanto è fare amicizie e conoscere magari anche i campioni dei propri sogni. Questo è Rockmaster, lo dico personalmente come lo dicono i tanti amici con i quali condividiamo da tante stagioni, lo dicono gli amici che organizzano, che vivono Arco 365 giorni all'anno, come lo dicono gli ospiti d'onore o le persone che anche solo per una volta vengono a godersi un bel weekend verticale.
It's really true. Arco is really the main center of climbing for this fantastic week. Our village will open today at 2 o'clock. And also the Kaiser and experience Rockmaster Festival give you the possibility to try the best products, the new gear, the new climbing shoes. So go and visit our village and take a date with the Alpic guides who will bring you and
Still waiting here at the bottom of the wall for a decision as to what's happening here. I think they are trying to fix the clocks. Can only apologise, guys. We will try and get back onto our action as soon as possible.
But don't forget also the competition. In a few minutes we will start again with the speed, 8 of finals and female and male, and then we have a little break to give to our route setter the opportunity to the last change on the on-site climbing route in our schedule at past 12. We have a program, the first route on the site for the lead Rockmaster competition. And then we will go on a bit later this afternoon. This evening at 7 o'clock, we start again with the speed, the third stage of the World Cup Silver 2013, with the quarter, the half final, and the final. And we have the awarding of the speed specialist, the speed winner, the speed leader, the rockets of this discipline, and then we go on at 8:30 with the road after work. Final, and we will see once again the best climbers in the world. We will see once again their kings of the Rockmaster Climbing Festival. Will be really fantastic. We will see once sixth time of the Rockmaster competition, vedremo ancora in via, eroe del cambio di Romane, vincitore per 6 volte. Yesterday evening we met Angela Eiter, also for her the victory record in Rockmaster competition. Angela Eiter doesn't compete anymore, but she remains the queen of Rockmaster. Angela Eiter l'abbiamo vista ieri alla serata Arco of Legends. Non è più in gara Angelo dopo l'addio ufficiale dato a Cali in occasione del World Games, però lei rimane la regina del Rockmaster. 6 vittorie anche per lei come per Ramone della Canalizza. Veramente un record che sarà difficile cogliere, ma tutto è possibile. 28 edizioni di Rockmaster ci hanno insegnato che può vedere veramente di tutto. 28th edition of Rockmaster have demonstrated that everything can be, and so a lot of expectation for us, of emotion. Starting bene, few minutes after the solution of this technical problem with the speed competition with direct knockout of the 8th of final. Quindi è venuto ancora per noi e poi torneremo ancora in gara e torneremo ancora con tutte le emozioni che può offrirci la gara speed a eliminazione diretta. Queste duelli secchi e duri e inesorabili degli ottavi di finale alla femminile e alla maschile.
Sì, mentre rimaniamo in attesa ancora sulla speed, vorrei dire che sottolineare che faremo il tifo, l'abbiamo già sentito, bello, caldo e particolare, direi, quello per gli azzurrini che vanno veloce. Mi fa piacere che ci sia la curva italiana a supportare gli atleti che vanno veloce, ma anche questa sera, anche oggi, a partire con la prova on-site, avremo atleti della nazionale giovanissimi e ci fa piacere questo, che difenderanno i colori dell'Italia con onore, con la maglia azzurra. Questo Rockmaster sono Stefano Ghisolfi, atleta dello sportivo Polizia, veste di invitato, farà parte dei primi 7 invitati insieme a Francesco Ventorata, che invece ha passato l'Open, quindi sono 2 gli azzurri a giocarsi la prova on-site oggi pomeriggio. Invece tra le ragazze avremo la sempre presente Jenny Lamarda, che difenderà anche nel boulder i colori azzurri.
E anche nel boulder abbiamo una presenza azzurra con Alice De Marco, che lei si è guadagnata l'accesso.
Insieme a lei poi c'è la giovanissima Annalisa, che invece sul boulder rappresenterà New School italiana. Come sottolineato prima Manuela, la serata sarà veramente pronta, diciamo, dalle ore 19, quindi organizzate al meglio la vostra serata, fate passare la voce, mandate un ultimo SMS agli amici che magari ci stanno raggiungendo, sono in viaggio, sono pronti ad arrivare in quel di Arco, magari adesso sono per le Falesie, giustamente.
Condivideteli su Facebook, perché sulla pagina Facebook del Rockmaster Festival ci sono già tutte le foto, i reports, le emozioni anche di questa giornata di gara, praticamente in presa diretta on the web pages and on the Facebook pages of Rockmaster Festival, Planet Mountain, tutte le foto, tutte le immagini, tutte le emozioni di questa grande giornata di gara. Condividete, invitate, chiamate, diffondete la voce che siete qui.
E dite che voi già ci siete, ma qualcun altro deve arrivare, il posto è grande, dobbiamo riempirlo tutto. Questo grande climbing stadium, questa arena dall'arrampicata se lo meritano. Abbiamo ancora una volta, anche in questa edizione numero 27 dell'anno 2013, i migliori atleti, le stelle dell'arrampicata. Hai citato prima Ivona Armon, che non manca mai, ci tiene ad arrivare ad Arco almeno una volta all'anno e non sbaglia mai la data, arriva sempre la settimana giusta e spesso e volentieri l'abbiamo visto anche arrivare all'ultima presa, girarsi e concederci quel saluto che in tanti sognano, ma che Ramon sa fare bene, ce lo ricordiamo spesso e volentieri lassù, dove si incontrano le due torri, il sogno di tanti atleti, di tutti noi comuni, ma anche dei più forti atleti, l'arrivare all'ultima presa, toccare, infilare la catena nel moschettone e poter salutare questo magnifico pubblico di Arco. Insieme a lui ci saranno Jacob Schubert, che ieri sera abbiamo vinto agli Oscar all'arrampicata, Sciamma, Sean McCall, qui prima a farsi una corsetta sulla speed, Magnus Midwo, Mario Lettner e Stefano Ghisolfi, insieme a Doran Dimitri Francesco Vittorale e Clement Becian. Insomma un bel gruppo quello che andrà a disputare la prova on site e poi sarà ancora lunga perché ne verranno fuori solo 8 e la conosciamo bene la formula del lavorato, una via dove i tracciatori si possono sbizzarrire, ne abbiamo sentiti Leonardo, Donato e Gigi, anche a loro piace questa formula pensata.
So as you can probably see, we've got some of the organisers down here at the bottom of the wall. They're just trying to run a couple of times to see if these clocks are getting back to work again. The results are now up and are posted. I can run through just briefly for you who we're going to be seeing through the rest of the women's speed and through the rest of the men's. The 16 women to make it through are, in order, Alina Geda-Makina and then Katarina Savine, Edita Ropek against Julia Kaplina, Claudia Buksek against Ksenia Polakina, Anna Saigonova against Patricia Shuziak, Maria Krasavina against Anastasia Goriasha, Julia Levochkina against Ala Mariench, Anok Jauber against Martina Zanetti, and Monica Prokopiuk against Stephanie Pitchler. Those are our 16 female athletes. We are waiting to see whether they will make it through into the 8, which of them will make it through into the 8, the next stage. In the men's then, the results are in for that one as well, and just to keep you updated on that, we currently have Libor Hroza first out against Vladimir Zinchenko. Then it is Sergei Sinitsyn up against Danilo Boldyrev. Then Marcin Dziansky up against Johan Dakusta. Evgeny Wojciechowski against Arseny Shevchenko. Quixin Zong against Lin Zai Zong. Jerzy Komazinski against Yaroslav Gontarek, Stanislav Kokorin against Alessandro Santoni, and Leonardo Gontero against Lucas Swerk. Those are our 16 male athletes. I can see some female athletes milling around behind the wall.
Quindi tutti gli addetti ai lavori in posizione e già inquadrata nella cornice della via di accesso alla climbing arena c'è il canale e dietro di lei è Giulia Caplina.
E si riparte. Siamo pronti, le atlete sono pronte, quindi ricominciano i giochi, si sale in alto veloce. Allora ripartiamo con la Coppa del Mondo Speed, ottavo di finale.
Second fight, la seconda sfida, Ropek e Caplina. London Russia.
At your mark.
So we are back on with Edita Ropek and Julia Kaplina. They have another attempt here as the clocks have been malfunctioning prior. And here we are. And it is Julia Kaplina flying into the lead here. A nice run here for her. 9.40. And it is Julia Kaplina that moves forward into the next stage. We get ready to welcome our next two athletes, Claudia Buksek, number 42, and Ksenia Polakina, number 39.
Claudia and Poleshina Ksenia.
Claudia Bucek, quello 8.05 di prima in qualifica era sua, ha guagnato un record. Also stopped our chrono at 8.05 for Claudia Bucek. Let's follow that time.
At your mark.
So we have Claudia Buxic, number 42 on the left-hand side, Ksenia Polakina, number 39 on the right.
On the left, Oleshkina on the right. Ready to start.
Number 39, Ksenia Polakina on the right-hand side. Number 42, Claudia Buxic on the left. Getting ready to go here now. Claudia Buxic, we should see through into the next stage, but can Polakina pull it out the bag at this late stage?
Ready?
Here we are, neck and neck still at this stage at the moment. Now Edita Ropek starting to fall behind a little bit. Polakina trying to take advantage of that little bit of a lead she's got. A miss for for Claudia Buxic. It is Ksenia Polakina that will go through. Claudia Buxic, unfortunately, is out. Polakina manages to land that button at the last moment there.
Non si ferma invece il tempo.
Polakina with a time of 9.46 moves forward into the finals later on this evening. Claudia Buxic is out, unfortunately, after missing that top button. It's looking like she might be appealing for that and saying that I hit it, at which point we'll have to re-watch the footage, the judges will, and confirm or deny her appeal. So we wait for that then. It looks like a moment ago Claudia Buxic actually was the first to put a hand to the button at the top. The button hasn't stopped, but Christoph's now having a conversation with Claudia down at the bottom of the wall. Polakina waiting to find out what her fate will be, whether she'll be able to carry on. Buxic having an issue with the top button there.
Let's go on, Razziganova, Russian team, questa è winner of the Euro Championship del campionato europeo 2013, sfidata
Our next athletes then, Anna Saiganova, number 31 on the left-hand side, and she's going to be up against Patricia Chudziak for Poland, number 34 on the right, to decide who goes through to the next round. I'm not entirely sure what's happening with Claudia Buxic. There could be an appeal going on there for that one. At the moment it's showing Polakina has gone through.
Ready?
And here we are off. A nice clean start. No false starts here from either athlete. Starting to head a little bit more here though now, Anna Saiganova. Then a stumble, and she's, and unfortunately, looked like it was the Polish athlete there, Patricia Chudziak. She hit the button, it didn't stop. And with 10.66, Anna Saiganova looks like she's going to be going forward despite that last minute fall. Whether there'll be another appeal, I'm not sure. We'll wait to find out.
Savina Maria, vincitrice di Arco nel 2011. E poi sempre sul podio. Coppa del Mondo, attualmente quinta nel ranking mondiale. Andiamo a vedere se l'acceleratore è al massimo.
Ready?
Partite per Savina on the left, Lorenzo on the right.
Taking the lead here straight from the off, number 46, Anastasia Goriacha, a little lower down, 9.1.
9.50.
going on, the next fight, the next duel.
Our next pairing will be Yulia Levachkina, number 49 for Russia on the left-hand side, and Alan Mariench, number 37 on the right.
37, as the World Championship Paris, dove la campionessa del mondo in carica, Giulia Lebochkina, russa, 8,37 del suo personale, ha segnare questa occasione del campionato del mondo di Parigi lo scorso anno. Dall'altra parte c'è la giovane ucraina, alla Marievich. Ovviamente avrai un protection posto in World Cup Series, 11ª base.
So Yulia Levachkina out again then. Alla Mariench on the right hand side.
At your marks. Ready.
And here we are. We would expect Levachkina to start firing ahead here. She has started to take a bit of a lead as long as she doesn't slip. Fantastic time there for Levachkina. She secures a place in the final 8. Our next pairing then will be Anok Jobert of France, number 43 on the left, and Martina Zanetti for Italy, number 32 on the right. Penultimate pairing. One more after this and we'll have our 8 finalists, bearing in mind there might be some appeals going on there. Try and keep you posted when we find out what's going on. At the moment it is Polakina and Saiganova who go through. We could have appeals. We wait to find out.
Giovanini per lei e adesso voglio di gareggiare la presenza qui all'Arco.
At your marks. Ready.
After that early stall, but it is Jalbert that goes forward into the next round. Our final pairing then is Monika Prokopiuk, number 41, against Stephanie Pitchler, number 38.
And on the last fight for this final for the female speed competition, l'ultima battaglia, l'ultima sfida per questi ottavi di finale alla femminile. E abbiamo Monika Prokopiuk, l'esperta atleta polacca. L'abbiamo vista qui all'Arco lo scorso anno, qui place last year in Arco in la World Cup stage for Monika Prokopiuk e Stephanie Pitchler. Strongest representative for the Austrian team for speed.
Number 41 on the left-hand side, Stephanie Pitchler, number 38 on the right. Our final set of these 16 athletes to take it down to just 8 for later on this evening.
Ready.
Here we go, clean start from both athletes, still neck and neck at this point. Stephanie Pitchler trying to hold her own here, but Prokopiuk taking a lead. She's starting to develop that lead further. It's going to be Prokopiuk, and it is 9.81 seconds. Prokopiuk goes forward into the next round. So the results as I have them here at the moment, based on the couple of faults that we've had. Julia Kaplina, Stania Polakina, Anna Saiganova, Maria Krasavina, Yulia Levachkina, Anok Jalbert and Monika Prokopiuk in our final 8. That's what we have at the moment. We wait to hear the appeals, and in a moment we get started with the men's. The first 2 athletes out will be Libor Kroza, number 26 for the Czech
Prokopiuk, queste le magnifiche 8 che avanzano nella prova speed women.
Esatto, le ritroveremo questa sera alle ore 19. We will find the 8 Golden Girls this evening at 7 o'clock for the male, for the quarter of finals of the big competition, but we are ready to go on with the main quarter of finals. Non possiamo continuare con gli ottavi di finale al maschile, la prima sfida, the first fight, Czech Republic, Igor Roza, Ucraina, for Volodymyr Zinchenko. L'esperienza di Igor Roza,
Migliore in qualifica, il più veloce, ha spinto subito sull'acceleratore.
ha delle potenzialità incredibili di Igor, vediamo se ne mette a punto oggi un personale
At your
esempio.
marks.
Lasciamoli
Reading.
Andiamo al libro rosa che vuole veramente scivola via intanto Zinchenko se la prende più con calma lì con uno scambiare forze holding to strike for the next fights going on al libro rosa.
Okay, and now Sinichin, Sergei, Russian, and Budirev, Danilo, Ukraine. Sinichin, Sergei, 17 world ranking. Budirev Danilo, third in world ranking, 6.39 il suo tempo, the best time 6.39. On the left, Sinichin, Sergei, on the right, Budirev Danilo.
At your marks. Ready.
We got Sergei Sinichin trying to take a lead, but Boldyrev is trying again. We have a false start here. The athletes are going to be called down. We'll find out who it was.
Avete visto che i tempi di frenata comunque, quando si è concentrati, quando si parte carichi come una pionda, escono ancora qualche movimento in automatico. Adesso verrà dato qualche secondo di tregua per il recupero ottimale.
Sergei Sinichin trying to keep himself in the right zone of mind here. Danilo Boldyrev is definitely a threat. You can see it there even on that first run. Before the false start was called, they were more or less neck and neck. Sergei started to take a bit of a lead, but Boldyrev could be a definite threat to Sinichin in terms of knocking him out of the competition here. Wait. It's looking like we're having the false start discussion here. Could be a chance that Boldyrev has had 2 false starts throughout this competition.
Lo vedremo sfidare Alessandro Sartoni che sta nella concorrenza saldamente in testa alla classifica provvisoria.
It's looking like that could be the case. It's looking like they could be taking him off the wall here so that Sergei can climb and go through to the next round.
Giudici di gara, ricordiamo alle 12.30, partenza della prova freedom side, se corriamo, concedetemi il termine, giusti con i tempi, con l'ottavo maschile, poi siamo pronti per accogliere gli atleti della lead.
Invece a quanto pare in gara Danilo Boldyrev
Okay, so Sergei Sinichin is going to be climbing on his own here, it looks like, and so then that was definitely that there were 2 false starts there from Danilo Boldyrev, which means he's been eliminated from the competition. Sergei Sinichin just at the top here. Try and put in a decent time. There it is, 8.32 sees Sergei Sinitsyn through to the next round.
E passa. Turno non Sinitsyn Sergei.
And next on next fight, two young climbers, due giovani. Vede nel prossimo giro, Marcin Dzienski.
So our next two athletes then are Marcin Dzienski and Johan Lacusta. Dzienski number 19, Johan Lacusta number 16. We are onto our third pairing of the 16 athletes, trying to break it down into just 8 head-to-head first final round. We then take a break. We'll be back later on this evening with the speed around 7 o'clock.
At your mark. Ready.
Here we are then, this should be a close one. Lacusta with a slip there at the start. Dzienski not so far. Can he keep it going? He is. Dzienski 6.59. Definite secure place there moving forward into the next stage of the finals. Fantastic run there with the fastest time so far for the male athletes at this stage of the competition. In this round, obviously Libor Hroza holding the fastest time today. Libor Hroza's fastest time 6.13. Saw him through into this stage. Our next two athletes, Evgeny Vaishakovsky of Russia, number 25, up against Arseny Shevchenko, number 23. 25 on the left, 23 on the right. Both athletes from the same home nation. Evgeny Vaishakovsky, the current world record holder, 5.88 seconds. And he'll know at this stage that his teammate will be a definite threat. He's going to have to put in a good time here if he wants to go through into the next stage of the competition.
At your marks. Ready.
And here we are then. Very quick start there from Evgeny Vaishakovsky. Being followed all the way up here, though. This could be close, and it is. Very close, 6.58. 1/100th of a millisecond faster than Marcin Dzienski. Vaishakovsky goes forward. It was very, very close.
For the next fight, for the next duel,
Our next duel will be Quixin Zong and Linsai Zong, both for China, up against each other for a place in those final 8. Quixin Zong, number 27, will be on the left, and Linsai Zong, number 18, will be on the right.
world champion on the left side, Quixin Zong, e dall'altra parte c'è Linsai Zong. Se siano fatti due cugini, poteva lo stesso.
Due dei tantissimi Zong che ci saranno.
Cugini,
Forse stavi leggendo prima un colto saluto tra i due compagni di squadra rossi, un bel gesto di fair play dopo che solo uno dei due è passato.
Perché sembra che ci sia un abbandono comunque da parte di Linsai Zong, e quindi Quixin corre da solo.
We have one of our athletes. We wait for our
At your
second.
marks.
It's looking here like we might have had a withdrawal.
Ready.
Slip there early on for Quixin Zong. All he has to do is get to the top here, and everything's fine. It's an interesting situation happening here, but it's looking like Linsai has actually pulled out. It's Quixin all the way.
Playing with the horse, Quixin Zong.
Ed entra facile, come si suol dire, giocando da solo e andando solo a rivedere un po' gli schemi che ha veramente memorizzato questo grande campione. Quixin Zong passa il turno e noi andiamo avanti. Now, Kowazinski, Jeffrey Kontanik, Yaroslav Ukraina.
So our next set will be Jerzy Komarzyński, number 20 on the left-hand side, against Jaroslav Gontarek, number 29 on the right. 20 on the left, 29 on the right. Jerzy Komarzyński from Poland, Jaroslav Gontarek of the Ukraine.
Eccolo qua, Jaroslav Gontarek, actually second in world ranking, second in World Cup 2000.
And you might be hearing the announcers in the background just giving a bit of a rep sheet on Jaroslav Gontarek. He's second on the world ranking. Second on the World Cup ranking at the end of last year. He also took a silver medal at Baku earlier in the year as well. Very strong competitor in speed climbing. But Jerzy Komarzyński's been putting in some extremely impressive scores so far today. And as you can see, they're still neck and neck at this stage now, halfway up the wall. Which of these athletes is it going to be the final pop? It is Komarzyński by 600ths of a second. 6.50 against 6.56. It is Jaroslav Gontarek that will be going home empty-handed here. Jerzy Komarzyński moves forward into the next stage, the next final round. Our next two then, Stanislav Kokorin, number 30, against Alessandro Santoni, number 11. Stanislav Kokorin, number 30 for Russia on the left, Alessandro Santoni, number 11 on the right.
C'è un fortissimo remix strong one, Stanislav Kokorin, actually first in the world ranking, primo del world ranking, leader indiscusso quest'anno della Coppa del Mondo, che ha vinto già nel 2010 e anche nel 2012 il personale di 5.99, a casa la best time of 5.99, e Alessandro Santoni, questo campione del mondo giovanile, a Copenaghen.
At your marks.
Tutta la seguire anche questa sfida, Kokorin Santoni.
Ready.
And here we are, can Kokorin keep his own here? Alessandro Santoni trying as hard as he can. Is he going to make it? No, 6.61 sees Kokorin through.
Dura la vita contro Stanislav Kokorin, si passa al russo. Stanislav Kokorin poi, non the next fight, tutta tua Paolo.
Ok, the next five c'è lui, il nostro Leonardo Montero e Lucas Svirka. Forza Leo.
Our next two athletes then, our final pairing at this stage of the competition. Leonardo Gontero of Italy, bronze medal recently in Baku, number 24 on the left, and Lucas Svirk, number 21 on the right. Definite threat to Gontero, this should be close.
Ready.
Here we are, neck and neck, a false start there caused by Lucas Svirk. Could we be seeing a repetition of Chamonix yet again for Lucas? Let's hope not.
Montero, 6.27 record italiano, fatto in quel di Baku, Coppa del Mondo 2013. Sesto attualmente nel World Ranking. Terzo nella Coppa del Mondo 2013.
At your marks. Ready.
And here we are, a nice clean start this time. Gontero taking an early lead. Can Svirk do the same? Can he pull it back? It is Gontero for Italy. 6.43. Unfortunately, Svirk yet again is going home empty-handed. Gontero moves forward onto the next stage here of the World Cup for speed climbing at Arco, Italy 2013. Well, ladies and gents, that is our completion of this early section of the speed climbing. We've had a bit of the final to give you a taster, but it's going to get more exciting from here on in, and we're back with that later on this evening at around 7 o'clock. So we have our results. Give the IFSC a little while to have the website updated, and you'll be able to see exactly the scores and what's happening there. If there are any appeals, it takes a while for the results to be confirmed. When they are confirmed, you'll know exactly where everything's standing, and you'll be able to carry on for the rest of the competition. Okay then, ladies and gents, we will be bidding you goodbye for a little while, shutting down for a moment, and the results should be coming in with you shortly. We'll see you very shortly, and definitely...
Quando la sfida dai 4 finalisti, l'appuntamento per tutti noi